Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with a sit down video that I haven't done for such a long time, and that's sharing with you my second-hand finds. I'm going to split this up into two. I'm going to try and film it all today, but I'll upload it at different times. I just figured I'd got quite a lot throughout the month of April. If you watch my VEDA videos, you've probably seen the majority of this, but I still wanted to sit down and share what I got in case people missed out on some of my vlogs or weren't interested in what I showed that day or like vlogged. And because I just did it like throughout the month, I wanted to sit down and show what I've got as well. So today's video, Jesus Christ, is all books. If you watch my vlogs, you would have seen I got a lot of books throughout the month of April. I didn't actually realise how many I got until I just put them all together. So I'm just going to sit down and waffle my way through books that I got this month. I'm going to try and show you the books that I've got in the order that I got them. So first of all, I don't think I've shown these at all on my channel. I found these two. These were £1 each, and they are The Pretties and The Specials by Scott Westerfeld. This is what they look like. I've already got the Uglies, but not in this version. I've got it in a different version, the red one there. I'm not going to read the blurbs because it's going to be spoilers for book one. But Uglies is basically, I think it's sort of like a dystopian. It's quite an old dystopian. And it's all about trying to change yourself to become pretty and how society sees you, something like that. I know that they're quite well hyped, like back in the day. These are quite old though, 2006, so yes, they are really old. But when I saw them, I've now got the whole collection, so when I read Uglies, I've then got the other two for when I want to read them. So yeah, they were £1 each, so I was really happy to find those. Next, I've got a Lucy Diamond. This is Hens Reunited, and I do actually own this one, but I had it in a really, really old cover, and it was like 3 girls walking. It was an awful cover. I've put it on top of my bookshelf now. Not on my bookshelf, on my cupboard, so I can give it to someone. But yeah, when I saw this matches all my other Lucys here. So these are the newer versions, and then these ones are the older ones, so it fits in well. I'll quickly read the blurb of this one. This says, the party's over, so what happens next? Katie, Georgia and Alice were at each other's hen nights, but now the chickens have come home to roost. Their marriages have fallen apart and their friendships have been tested to the limits. Control freak Katie has become a commitment phobe, and there is no way she wants to get married again, is there? Ambitious Georgia always puts her career first. If anyone gets hurt, it's their lookout, right? And faithful Alice wants to make a fresh start, but can't get over her cheating ex and Georgia's betrayal. Hearts have been broken and feathers ruffled. Can the hens ever be reunited? So I think that sounds quite interesting actually. So I was really happy I found this one, and this was 50p. I'm trying to remember all the prices. Next we've got the find, I think, of the month, and this is going to be the May book club book with Book Club with Jess. I've got my own book club, if you aren't aware. I'm obsessed with books, as I'm sure you're all aware, but if you've just clicked onto this video and you don't know who I am, I've got issues. So yeah, I found this. This is going to be the book club book. Follow me on Instagram. This has got so much hype at the moment, which I am slightly hesitant to read it, A, because it doesn't sound like my sort of book, and normally I don't like hyped up books, but this is Eleanor Oliphant, I call it Ophelia, don't know why, is completely fine, by Gail Honeyman. I see this in so many charity shops. After I found this one, this was the first one I saw. Since I've been away, I think I found maybe 3 or 4 in different charity shops. So if you want it, have a look in your C shops, because I think because it's such a hyped book, people read it and then they donate it quickly. I've then got 3 that I have definitely shown in a video, and that is Here's Looking at You by Mari McFarlane. This was 50p, which is why I got it. I've got one already which is called You Had Me at Hello. That's in the attic. I haven't actually read it. It's basically about a 30-year-old who's doing really well in life, and she's got her perfect job, but there's no real sort of love interest, and by the looks of things she sees someone that humiliated her at school, and he comes back into her life. He's an architect, which I quite like the sound of, and it's about that. So got that one. I don't know when I'm going to pick this up because it's an author I haven't ever read before. Let me know if you've read any of their things before, because I am interested on trying new authors this year. Then I got the Ali McNamara, The Summer of Serendipity. Again, I see this in charity shops all over the place. It's also on the works at the moment if you do want to get your hands on it. I saw it on there for £2. This one's just set in Ireland. I've said in my video before, I'm not really too interested in reading it. I just got it because it was 50p. It was a pretty cover and it goes with the other two that I've got in this series, which I know is stupid. Let me know if you've read any of this author's books. I tried to get into the Flower Shop one and I just found it really niche. No, I don't know if niche is the right word. Really just dull. I read like the first 6 chapters and I was like, not feeling the main character. So let me know if you've read any by her. And then the final one, again, is a really hyped up book, and that is The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan. I'm not going to read the blurb because I've already read the blurb of this, but again, this is a really hyped up book at the moment. For some reason I've got a random special edition cover. It is normally blue. For some reason the inside of this book, bear with. The inside of this book is what it normally is, but I've got the yellow version which I quite like. So got that, again 50p. Don't know when I'm going to read it. Realistically, when am I going to read any of these books? Then I've got 3 from a charity shop. They're £1.25 each or 3 for £3. Obviously I got roped in to do the deal. So first of all, we've got the Katie Ford A Secret Garden. Since I spoke about this on my video and I put it on my book club Instagram, some of you have said that you liked her books, so I am putting this higher up on my TBR to read. People say she's sort of like a Carol, so I'm interested in that. This is quite a new release. This came out in 2016, I think I said. I did say it in my video before. 2017, my bad. It says, in spite of everything, her heart lifted a little as she opened the gate to the secret garden. Lorna and her friend Philly work together on the grounds of a beautiful manor house in the Cotswold. But even though they are surrounded by family and friends, the door to true love remains completely closed. Could their discovery of the secret garden mean this is about to change? So it is quite vague. I don't really know what is going to happen, but it sounds interesting, and I've never read a book where the plot, I assume, surrounds like gardening, so I quite like that thought. The other one I got at the same time was a Sarah Morgan. I've got so many Sarah Morgan books, but I've never bloody read one. So again, leave me a comment, let me know if you've read a Sarah Morgan book. This is Sunset in Central Park. This is a part of a series, I think. Someone on my book club called Emma, she has been reading these, but she read them in the wrong order, and I think all the characters eventually like intertwine. I think you can read them as individual books, but it would make sense if you read them in order. I don't know the order because the books aren't bloody in here, are they? So because of that, I'm not going to read the blurb, just in case it does spoil the book. But yeah, I got that one. And then finally one that I am so excited to read. I'm going to give it until after I've read the book club book, and then I'm going to move on to this. Just because the cover's beautiful. I think this is probably one of my favourite covers ever. I just love this font here. I love how bright it is. I love the floral aspect. I just absolutely love it. I think it's stunning. And then the spine as well. It's just so beautiful. This is really hard to find in charity shops. Throughout my whole charity shop hunt mission, I've only ever seen this once. So I'd recommend, if this sounds interesting to you, try and have a look on either Music Magpie, worldofbooks.com or Amazon. They're the 3 places where I recommend people get their books, or eBay. So anyway, this is Summer at Hope Meadows by Lucy Daniels. Now I don't know if any of you remember Lucy Daniels. Lucy Daniels used to write those books called Animal Arc. I used to have them on cassette tape, which is why I've got such a strong bond with this book, because I feel like it's, I don't know, I just hope it's going to be everything and more. But I used to listen to the cassette tapes when I used to go to sleep when I was a young girl, and I used to listen to Bunnies in the Bathroom all the time, and that's what the books were. It was like Hamster in the Holly, I think I had like the Christmas version, and then there was like Dolphin in the Deep and all of those. I don't know if any of you remember them, but I used to fucking love those books. So when I saw that she's written books about Mandy Hope, who used to be the little girl in those books, it's now about her as an adult, and I really hope I like it. So it's about Mandy Hope. She is coming back to her family's veterinary surgery, help out and sort of take on a role from what I can gather. She's got a boyfriend called Simon who lives back in Leeds, where she was, I think she was studying or where she was living, but she wants to obviously stay at her family's vet surgery. And it's also got her best friend James Hunter in it as well, and if you read the books or listened to the cassette tapes, you'll know all about him. So I'm so happy I found this. I cannot wait to read this one. Next, I got some in the charity shops in a place called Sheringham and Cromer. I did really well there. I got 4. There we go. Sheringham is a great place for charity shops. If you're in Norfolk, you want to go on a charity shop hunt, I recommend Sheringham, definitely. Fakenham is good, and Dereham and Wymondham. So if you're wanting to go for a little mooch, I definitely recommend those places. So the first one is Crossed by Ali Condi. I'm not going to read the blurb because this is the second book in a 3-book series. Again, it's an old series. I want to say it came out 2009 through 12. I'm not 100% sure, but this is the middle book. I've got the first book. I don't think you're going to be able to see it on my shelf. The first book is Matched, then you've got Crossed, and then you've got a red one that is called Reached. It's basically about, I think at the age of 16 you get matched with someone to be like your lifelong partner, I think. Tell you what, I'll tell you. Let me get this one down. Here we go. This one. On her 17th birthday, Cassia meets her match. Society dictates he is her perfect partner for life, except he's not. In Cassia society, officials decide who people love, how many children they will have, where they work, and when they will die. But as Cassia finds herself falling in love with another boy, she is determined to make some choices of her own, and that is where the whole world begins to unravel. So obviously this is the follow-on from that. I think it's good. I'm not too sure. I haven't started it yet. I don't know why. I just sort of put off reading series at the moment because I've been reading a lot of like standalone books, like just chick lit contemporary books, and I put off reading a series because I know once I start one I'm gonna have to, if I enjoy it, I'll then fly through the others, and it's just putting time like aside to have that time to immerse myself in a world. So that's the reason as to why I haven't gotten into those ones yet. Standalones, I found this one, which is the Kathy Bramley's Hetty's Farmhouse Bakery. This is the new release for Kathy Bramley this spring. I don't know if she does one in the winters as well, but this is her brand new release. It came out in March, so when I found it for £1, I was chuffed to bits. I could not believe that I found it. As you can see down here, here's my Kathy Bramley section. I've got every single Kathy Bramley, but every time I read them, I don't really rate them, but I still buy them. The other 2 I read, they were just a little bit wishy-washy, very cliche. Cliche, that's the word I meant, not niche. Then I got a Jane Green. Jane Green, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. She's down here. I've got a fair few of hers, only ever read one. This was £1, and this is Straight Talking. This is a really, really old book. One of my viewers who I always speak to on Instagram, we always chat about Jane Green. So I feel like I've read enough blurbs at the moment, so I'll put that there so you can pause it and see if that sort of thing takes your fancy. And then finally, one that I obviously spoke about, I've spoken about all of these, but this one, The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. Beautiful cover. I just love it. I just bloody love it. It's about a girl who lives in New York, and I believe she's about to be deported, yes, to Jamaica, and she meets up with this guy called Daniel, and I think it's all set in one day, and it's about them and different people's point of views looking in on them and their relationship. That's what I've said before. I can't remember if I'm right, but Sun Is Also a Star, £1. I'm getting there, I'm almost done. Debbie Johnson, Sunshine at the Comfort Food Cafe. This is book 4 from Debbie Johnson, so I might try and find the first one in the library, read it and see what I think before I then hunt down the rest to buy. Now I've got one, I sort of feel like I have to buy them all because that's just what I do and what I'm like. I'm a nightmare. It's a beautiful cover for a start. I found this one for £1. Look, I just love it. I love the bunting up here. I think it's so sweet. I don't know if I should read the blurb because I don't want to ruin it. I won't. I'm going to put it there, green, so you can read it. I don't want to read it myself just in case it spoils it. But yeah, I'm really, really happy I found it. I've seen it everywhere, and to be honest, I have seen her other books in charity shops. I've just never picked them up. but now I've got this one. I'm going to try and find the other one in the library first. And then I've got one more to show you that you haven't seen if you've watched my vlogs, and then the rest, I say the rest, 4 more are ones that I haven't shown in my videos. Lucy Diamond, yeah. On a Beautiful Day. I started reading this when I finished my other book when I was on holiday, and I'm going to stop because book club book, and I want to fully enjoy this. So I will read the insert here. It says, it's a beautiful day in Manchester and 4 friends are meeting for a birthday lunch, but then they witness a shocking accident just meters away, and it acts as a catalyst for each of them. For Laura, it's a wake-up call to heed the ticking of her biological clock. Sensible Jo finds herself throwing caution to the wind in a new relationship. Eve, who has been trying to ignore the worrying lump in her breast, feels helpless and out of control. Happy-go-lucky India is drawn to one of the victims of the accident, causing long-buried secrets to rise to the surface. This is a novel about the startling and unexpected turns life can take. It's all about good luck. It's all about luck, the good and the bad, and about finding bravery and resilience when your world is in turmoil. Above all, it's about friendship, togetherness and hope. So this sounds really good. It sounds quite deep, and what I like is that it sounds like it's all about friendship and how they help each other go through this situation that they've all been caught up in. I will say I don't like the fact it's hardback. You know me, I've got all paperbacks apart from the hardbacks that are at the top. But this is the only one she released it in, and I wasn't going to leave it behind for £1. So you know me, when it comes out in paperback, I will buy it in paperback just so it can sit on the shelf, and then I'll probably donate this to someone. But yeah, I'm really happy that I found it. I can't believe I got it for £1 as well. The bag is gone. I've got 4 books to show you now. So the first one I've got is Kathy Bramley's Wickham Hall. I've actually got this. I own this here. Let me get it out. But mine is water damaged. Not through me. I would never do that. And the spine's really cracked. This is brand new. And never read. Well, it might have been read. They just might have looked after their books. But the spine is not cracked. So I'm going to keep this one and give this to someone. It was 20p. I don't know why. It should have been £1, and I would never have bought it for £1 because I don't need it. But it was in the bargain bin. Again, I've never seen a bargain bin in a charity shop before, but it's 20p, and I was like, well, I'm having that. So I've got it. Then I found a really old Jane Green. This was a little bit more pricey than what I'd normally pay. This was £1.25, but I have never seen it anywhere. So I was like, right, sod it, I'm going to get it. The lady that I speak to on Instagram, she recommended I read Jemima J and Mr. Maybe first. I read Mr. Maybe and bloody loved it. So I found Jemima J and I wasn't leaving it. And I also really like the name Jemima. I don't know why. This is a really old book. This was published 1997, 1998, 98. So it's really old. And it basically just says, Jemima Jones is overweight, about 7 stone overweight. She's treated like a slave by her thin and bitchy flatmates, lorded over at the Kilburn Herald by a beautiful Geraldine, less talented but better paid. Only her only consolation is food. What with that and her passion for charming, sexy colleague Ben, she knows her life needs to change. But can Jemima reinvent herself? Should she? So that is a summary of the book. Really happy I found that. I then found a Katie Ford, A Summer at the Sea. Again, this is a newer one. This is the 2016 one. This was £1. I really like the cover. And then this is what it says on the back. There we go. So I don't know whether to read the Secret Garden one or the Summer at the Sea one first. But I'm not going to buy any more Katie Fords until I've read at least one, so I know I like them, because I'm out of room on my shelves. I've got no more room, but I've basically brought like 20 books this month. So the next one fills me with so much joy, as you can all imagine my reaction when I walked into a charity shop and I found this. Yeah. Cara Matthews, A Million Love Songs. It's her brand new book, came out this month, and I got it in a charity shop for 75p, albeit it is only £3.99 in like supermarkets and stuff. but I just had a feeling, which I know sounds so ridiculous, but when I went away I just had this feeling, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find Karen Matthews' new book. I just knew it. I felt it in my waters, and I was right. So this is, like I said, her new book this year. She releases 2 a year. She releases one sort of spring, summer, and then she releases one later on in the year, about October time. Some of the girls in my book club have already read this, and they said it's quite kinky, which I don't expect from a Karen Matthews, so I am excited to read it and get involved. I am going to read you the blurb of this one, and then we're going to be done. So it says, after splitting up with her cheating husband, Ruby Brown is ready for a change. She's single for the first time in years, and she's going to dive into this brave new world with a smile on her face and a spring in her step. The last thing she's looking for is a serious relationship. Mason represents everything Ruby wants right now. He's charming, smooth, and perfect for some no-string-attached fun. Joe, on the other hand, is kind and very handsome, but comes with a sort of baggage Ruby wants to avoid: an annoyingly attractive ex-wife and 2 teenage children. Ruby thinks she knows what she wants. Is it what she needs to be truly happy? It's about to get emotional in a million love songs. Nothing else I need to say. I just love books. I'm happy I found them all. I don't regret any single one of them. So, I'm going to wrap up this video. It's been a really long one. Me just chatting about all the books I've brought this month. If you liked it, let me know. Leave a comment below, like always. Hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!